Hello and welcome to Stubtown, PSU TV's review show. Today, we're talking Moana.
For generations, this peaceful island has been home to our family. But beyond our reef, a great danger is coming. Legend tells of a hero who will journey to find the demigod Maui. And together, they will save us all.
Maui.
A boat!
Moana. With me today, I've got Junmi Hatcher, who's from the islands, because we figured we need an expert on the subject.
Hawaii, specifically.
Hawaii specifically, so now you know that. It's been a very bizarre start to the day. I apologize if we're a little off, me especially. But yeah, so Moana. Do you want to give us a quick little recap of what the film's about?
Okay. Moana is a simple adventure story, hero's journey, that Moana is tasked with retrieving Maui, the demigod, and a magical artifact, and having him return something that he had stolen, basically. And that would fix the ever-encroaching darkness across the world.
Yes, the somewhat ill-defined darkness. But it was cool. I kind of thought the setup was pretty good for this movie, but it felt like it took a long time to really get going. I don't know. Maybe was that just me or?
Well, I don't necessarily disagree, but when you're introducing a unfamiliar story base, because I mean, this is Disney. Yeah. Everybody knows about princesses and princes and monsters and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But most people aren't familiar with Polynesian culture or the cultures of individual islands in Polynesia. And so I think what they wanted to do was spend a little time on setting up the world. And I'm a big fan of world building.
Oh, me too, for sure.
But in the spoiler section, we'll talk more about that. But overall, yeah, it's a simple hero's journey type of story. So I think that's that's basically it.
Yeah, no, I'd say that's definitely fair. Performance-wise, like there's a lot of songs, a lot of very character-driven sort of stuff going on here. What did you think of the performance of Moana? Any standouts?
I like most of the music. It's definitely enjoyable. Yes, don't get me wrong. I had a great time watching it and everything like that. I think the performances from the two leads were great. I think they did a pretty good job.
Totally.
The songs, for the most part, were entertaining. Helped drive the story, but it's a musical. That's exactly what it's supposed to do.
I did like that most of the songs are dedicated to some form of exposition. A lot of flashback, a lot of...
Yeah, I mean, that's... Because the story that drives Moana to go on her journey is all based on history of her people. So you have to have that kind of that aspect. And to their credit, that is how a lot of history and through the oral tradition in many Polynesian cultures, it's done through song.
Totally.
So that aspect is totally in line with reality, so to speak.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And I'm a fan of Hamilton, like Lin-Manuel Miranda. I think he's a good songwriter. I did feel that the soundtrack, you can definitely feel literally hear his voice, but also his composition
style
and style is definitely there.
Yeah, it isn't. I mean, when you listen to the songs, you can tell that it was a collaborative effort from 2 or 3 completely different composers and songwriters and whatnot. So at times I felt it was a little mishmashed.
Yeah.
But overall, I think they did a fairly good job with what they were trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I've had that "Away Away" song stuck in my head, and that's always a good sign when you leave a movie and you've got that song and it's just a mind worm. And
yeah. We'll come back to that because there's some interesting anecdotes that I when I first heard the song. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely circle back on that.
The spoiler section's going to have a lot of introspection, I believe, anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Man, it's hard to talk about this movie without spoilers. What did you think? All right, so like there's not a lot. Like, this is a very tight cast. It's a lot.
True.
Majority of the movie is just Moana and Maui, and the chicken. How did you feel about the chicken?
He's standard Disney animal comic related.
Yeah, I was confused. There was a pig earlier in the movie, and they set him up as like, oh, he's gonna totally be.
Yeah, they totally.
And then
that
they
out.
just cut.
Like the trailers make that pig like a
Yeah.
significant sidekick or whatever, but not.
Well, and I would have enjoyed that more because the chicken is so dumb as to not have any like agency or survival instincts. So them constantly saving him got to be like a really beat to death joke. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I felt like that they had to save him every time there was an action scene. It felt like somebody had to go, okay, so where's the chicken?
I can see that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the chicken for the most part. There wasn't anything wrong with the chicken in terms of authenticity or anything.
No,
like
no,
that.
definitely
It's like,
not. It's
here's a simple animal with, anthropomorphic qualities. And enjoyable for me to watch every so often. It's like, okay.
Oh, man. Visually, what did you think of Moana?
I think the technical aptitude was great.
Mm-hmm.
It looked beautiful.
Oh,
I didn't see the 3D version, so I don't know if it really lent to it.
Mm-hmm.
From the standard version I saw, it looked great. Yeah. No, the visuals were beautiful.
The water.
Yes, the water and the hair.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about CG, those are like the hardest things to do.
Absolutely.
So, I was impressed with that.
Yeah, I like that they made the ocean like a character and something that they could interact with.
Yeah, they had to make the ocean a character because it's really hard to describe that aspect of the mythology without creating some sort of anthropomorphized, ocean or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the ocean is really important in the mythology.
I can imagine.
So yeah, it's nice that they paid attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we'll go deeper into that in the spoiler section.
The spoiler section is going to be full of. You're going to learn a lot.
Well, I will. I'll talk about what I know.
All right. So we'll just leap over there. We're clearly hamstrung right now. It's not working. So we'll do a quick overview, recommend, not recommend, and then we'll boogie on over to spoilers. You
want to start? Yeah, sure. I do recommend watching the movie, especially if you have really no experience whatsoever with Polynesian culture. But with one caveat, that you, just like in the academic circles, Wikipedia is a great place to start. But it's not necessarily an accurate place to rely on all of your impressions of Polynesian culture. So Moana is much like Wikipedia. So great, enjoy a nice story, some fun characters, and then delve into more accurate representations.
Oh man! All right, wow. For me, I thought Moana was a fun but wildly unfocused film. I don't know personally much about Polynesian culture, but I got the feeling that a lot of the tropes I was seeing were very recognizable.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, they followed the Disney format to a T.
Yeah, and I felt like there's a lot of weirdly manufactured drama in this film. It's enjoyable, like I said, it's fun, like the songs are catchy and everything, but the narrative itself, I feel, suffers from a real lack of focus, and I feel like there was a lot of trying to hedge their bets in places, so they never really committed to whatever. I don't know what the original vision for this film was, but I can almost guarantee it's not what the final product is. And that's not a good thing. That's not what you want at the end of the day. So it feels like a movie that's probably a lot of compromises, but ends up being enjoyable overall. I probably wouldn't watch it again though. So it's like a very mild recommend for me if you're just in the mood for like a new Disney film, listen to some new Disney tunes, and if Disney's really your jam, go check it out. If you're not a big Disney person, you're probably not. This isn't going to be one that like changes your mind on it. And overall, I'd say probably wait for streaming. So soft recommend, barely. All right, so that's it for the spoiler-free section. We're going to dive into the spoiler section, which is also going to include sort of a look through the lens of Junmei's knowledge of Polynesian culture and that breakdown. So hopefully you'll join us there. And we'll see you over there. See you know.